everyone, this is my brother Daniel. This is Rolls in the Family, and today's the day you get to learn a little bit more about us. You know, according to whatever questions you, the audience, or at least a very small subset of
this
our
better
audience
not be everyone.
Pre-submitted, yeah, all 16 of you. I don't remember how many responses we had. We actually had a good number of questions though here, so we're gonna have to keep this thing moving, Daniel. We can't be here for 2 hours, but we're gonna hit through all these questions that you guys submitted. I tried to order them kind of logically, so we get somewhat of a cohesive flow here. Though let's just say some of these questions fit nowhere. They were completely out of left field.
Right.
If after hearing our responses in this, you have any follow-up questions, you could leave those in the comments below. We may or may not follow up. Maybe we'll just choose to plead the fifth and
we'll just heart your comments and
just
walk
heart
away.
Yep. Then you'll know. But yeah, maybe you'll learn something you didn't know about us today.
Ooh.
Let's kick it off though, Daniel. We're starting with kind of stuff about our gaming history. So the first question here is kind of a combo one. What were both of your first gateway games? How long would you say you've been in the hobby? Who got who into board games first? Or was board gaming something that started early on within your family as kids? So I feel like we didn't play like a ton of board games early on. We always liked games.
Yeah, not
and played
traditional
stuff.
board games per se.
But there was a game, Daniel, that changed everything.
Changed
and
our
what
lives.
was that game? Changed our lives forever.
Bunnies.
It was Killer Bunnies. Really was we actually had the game Carcassonne before that, but it was always like this weird
we're like,
game
what is
that we're like,
this?
it's this kind of, like we never really understood that, like, oh, this is like actually really cool.
Yeah.
But Killer Bunnies was the one that made us go, what? I didn't know there were games like this.
Right.
Like, what else is out there?
Because we had the standard, Monopoly, Trouble,
Monopoly.
stuff like that. But
exactly.
Let's open our mind.
Yes, we got so Killer Bunnies really opened our minds, and then I remember I found reviews from Tom Vassell on the Dice Tower way back.
He
It
was
like
still going.
This is like 2008, so that's how I would say how long
That's
we've
so
been
great.
in the hobby. Found some reviews for Small World and Dominion, and those were the two that we got, and then the floodgates were opened.
Yeah.
Once we experienced Small World and Dominion.
Yeah.
So yeah, it really was kind of both at the same time, and we were both living at home at that time, and so those early days, if you ever hear us talk about the golden era, there was about like 3-4 years there, especially that like we
played so much of those games. Yeah, it was Dominion, Small World. I think right after that was it? I know Pandemic was
really early.
Lost Cities.
Race for the Galaxy was very early.
Race for the Galaxy. So,
yeah.
And that was just such a period of discovery. We're just like, oh my gosh, there's this whole world of these games. And so it was a pretty thrilling
Well, and it's wild
time.
how much the hobby's changed since 2008. Like, it's become even way more mainstream, and the amount of games coming out and stuff. So,
yeah.
So yeah, we have a special place in our heart for Killer Bunnies for opening Pandora's box for us. Next up, we have you found any games that you didn't like at the first play but grew to love?
Yeah, I'll start here, Ryan. So 2 games come to mind, and one I'm not sure I disliked it per se. But I will say Agricola. Viewers of the channel, like when we first played it. Now, this is, again, I was just getting beat down by Ryan. My gosh, like you can only so many times look at your people are starving. There's no food. Your crops are failing, and Ryan's over there just with a bounty of a bounty. And so I think there was a little bit of a struggle there, but it was kind of like, okay, this is kind of interesting, but I in no way loved it the way that I do now. And I think we've talked about it being a game that the more you play it, you really do grow into that. So that's one. Second one came to mind was Cosmic Encounter, actually, because we got that game. I think it was it might have been your birthday, because I remember it being around Christmas time.
Yeah.
And so we started out just playing these 3-player games.
A lot of little 3-player
games of it. And I remember it was kind of like,
this is not the best way to play Cosmic.
Like this game's fine. It's kind of interesting, but I don't think we were kind of, it took that finding the group that you ended up started playing it with a ton, that I think it really opened up the, oh my goodness, this game's incredible.
Totally.
So those two were the ones that came to mind for me.
Yeah, some of the first ones that came to mind for me were from that really early era we were talking about. So Carcassonne is one that we grew to love Carcassonne, and it's like we had it before.
Yeah.
So it could have happened earlier.
Although I will say the Traders and Builders and Inns and Cathedrals
and the expansions helped a lot. But yeah, really good game. Race for the Galaxy, I remember was like, what is this? Because we had not played that many games.
There's a lot of iconography in that one.
And it was kind of a little bit overwhelming at first, but obviously 320 plus plays later, we got over that. The other one that came to mind for me was actually Decrypto, because not that we had a bad first place, but similar to Cosmic, once you experienced it with the right group and like had a really good game of it, it was like, oh my gosh, this game, the ceiling for it is so high.
Right.
So I think we don't often have ones that we dislike that we end up liking later.
Because we're impulsive. We get rid of it
usually,
right away.
Yeah, we get rid of it. So, no, it's usually that it's like it's not love at first sight, but then it grows from that.
Right.
So yeah, it's good to, we are definitely proponents of like play your games. I mean, sometimes after one. Sometimes you don't need multiple plays. Like, I do not like this game. But sometimes if it's kind of in that middle, like repeated plays can go a long way.
That's very true.
To improving it. Let's see. How has your taste in games evolved over the past few years? Do you have a favorite now that you would have not liked a few years ago, or vice versa? I'll start here. I think the biggest thing for me, I mean, obviously I've had kids now, and so like there's this appreciation for like kids games and stuff, but kind of related to that, just an appreciation for simpler, shorter games.
Yeah.
Early in our gaming together, it was all about what game do we want to play with each other,
right.
And that pushed us a lot more to more complex games and heavier games.
Yeah.
And it was like, who needs these? We have games we got rid of, like For Sale and Ink and Gold.
Ink and Gold. I wish I'm
I'm
gonna
like,
go buy Ink and Gold.
These
again.
would kind of be nice to still have now on the other side of it. And so I do have much more appreciation for these games that are really fit the situation, are easy to get to the table.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's the biggest one for me.
Yeah, something that I think was thrilling when it kind of first was coming into the board game scene, but I've cooled on a lot, is legacy games. Games where you're, it's kind of this one-time play through it, and I think you can still have fun with them, but I just think we've really gravitated more towards finding games that we can just play over and over again, versus one-time experiences with, I think the surprise factor, the novelty of that kind of wore off a little bit. Like, the first time we were playing like Pandemic Legacy, it was pretty awesome. But just that mechanic, it's kind of like, okay, it doesn't have the novelty factor of it anymore. Plus, I know we've cooled on that's kind of connected with just campaign games of you have to have the same group. Like Pandemic Legacy, we felt this pressure of like whenever we had that group together, and it was kind of a short amount of time, that we had to play that game, and I think we don't like that.
I feel like all these big, really good campaign games that, like, Gloomhaven was one of the earlier ones that really started at this trend of these big, really well-designed campaigns. I feel like they came too late because we didn't really have them when we were still living together back at home.
Can you imagine?
And like that would have been the scenario to play it. We would have finished Gloomhaven.
But a new dawn is coming, Ryan, with children.
With children,
I'm telling you.
So maybe campaign games will see a resurgence.
Yeah. The other thing for me is I've actually come around on production quality, and this, I think there's, on the one hand, there's games that it's like, okay, the amount of money going into this is just unnecessary. But I will say, I kind of used to be like, oh wait, like we don't need the production, it's just the game, it's just the mechanics. I'm starting to realize, like, my enjoyment of a game, the production of it totally does have kind of an impact in like the enjoyment of playing the game. And so there's been a few times I've actually been okay paying a little bit more for the better thing. One clear example, like Quacks of Quedlinburg, like you can totally play the game with the regular chips, but those nicer chips like drastically improve just the tactical feel of the game. And I think there's some other examples of that as well.
I think I've kind of come around on this one as well. Yeah, like I used to definitely be just like the.
Right.
I want the game itself for as cheap as
Yeah.
it can be.
Right.
But yeah, there is this like toy factor. There's
Totally.
board games are tangible.
Yeah.
And so like moving around and having it look really good, yeah, like it matters. Plus, we've talked about we're the type of people we want to find these games that we can play over and over and over.
Right.
So like you kind of get to reap the benefits of a game.
Well, I think early on
really
in our
nice like that.
journey, we're discovering this hobby, and so we're just wanting to get games. I mean, and like we're playing them a lot too, but we're just so very much. I think we're in an efficiency mindset of like, okay, and we're probably not making very much money. We're working like high school jobs and stuff, and so efficiency. Whereas now, I think we're able to be like, okay, that actually might be worth going in on.
Plus, we're more time constrained now.
We are.
Yeah. It doesn't feel as bad as like, I could get this game or I could get 4 games. It's like, well, if I get 4 games, I'm not going to be able to like play them all. Like it's
Yeah, totally.
This one is hard to recall to my brain, but what is your greatest gaming story? It can be. Oh, did I skip one? I'll go back to that one.
Yeah, go back to that one. There you go.
I'll go back to that one. Have either of you? I'll go back to it right now. I don't know if you wanted me to wait or not. I'm going back right now. Have either of you been into trading card games? If so, which
It's
ones?
funny. I was like, this isn't that hard of a question, right?
Yeah, this should be a quick one.
Yeah.
This should be a quick one. The answer is Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yep,
when
that
we
was
were
our.
young. That was the one that in our neighborhood. Oh yeah, Redemption.
Come
yes.
on, Ryan. Come on.
Yes, the Christian spin-off of Magic the Gathering. I don't think we ever knew how to play that game. I think we just had some cards.
I don't think we did either.
But Yu-Gi-Oh was
play a
really
lot of
the big
Yu-Gi-Oh.
one, to the point where me and our older brother completely made a homebrew
Crazy
cards, which is basically
my
Yu-Gi-Oh,
gosh.
but we made all our own cards illustrated. We gave them like we had seasons
We ran
of them that were
tournaments
numbered.
in our neighborhood.
We would give out booster packs. We had tournaments. We gave out like promo cards to winners of
We were
tournaments.
so nerdy. Oh my
Man,
gosh!
I remember
Ryan.
sitting folding these little envelopes and drawing the thing on it to make booster packs.
And
I would
forced
come out
me
to the
help.
front porch.
This was a precursor of the channel. Ryan forcing me to edit and do all that stuff.
Yeah. I would come out to the porch with all these booster packs and we'd distribute them among the neighborhood kids and everybody would build their decks. And
Do you think we still have the files to Crazy Cards?
They're on our dad's old
We gotta
Mac, but
recover
there's
them,
no
Ryan.
way to get them off.
Get them onto a floppy drive.
It's in like ClarisWorks, some software that, like, there's no export to PDF on that thing. This thing is 30 years old.
Oh no!
But they do exist. I should dig up some screenshots and maybe share them on the channel here.
Oh gosh,
because there's some gems.
Oh sure, Ryan. If you can do it before, get my dad to export them before this video. I'll throw them on the
maybe
screen.
they've already been showing on the screen. Now I feel like I have to.
Can you imagine?
I'm putting more work on my plate. Cool. Okay, greatest gaming story. It can be an incredible win, a wild turn of events, or the best narrative to unfold within the story. So when I heard this question, the first thing that popped to mind for me was games like Eldritch Horror and Cosmic Encounter because there was that season. But like I don't have a lot of specific like that I can recall. I just know that there were so many really big, amazing moments in games. As far as a moment I can remember what specifically of a game, this is just a funny one that happened in the last few years. We were playing the game A Fake Artist Goes to New York, where everybody knows what's being drawn except one person, and everybody has to contribute a line, and the person that doesn't know needs to try to fit in and not let people know that they don't know. Well, we had another person deal out the things for the round and be the one that was kind of picking the answer. Well, he forgot to put he put the answer on every card. So there was no fake artist. Everybody knew it. And it was such a funny thing because he realized it, but then let it play out.
Yeah.
So we basically got to watch this game play out with everybody knowing and being like, who is the fake artist? So that was pretty hilarious. The grand reveal when we all vote, and then he goes, "There wasn't one because I forgot."
Oh, that was good. I feel like you also recently on the channel said you had a sausage sizzle game that was pretty incredible.
We've had some pretty epic sausage sizzle against the odds.
Yeah.
People pulling. Yeah, that game, man.
It's good stuff.
If my wife was answering this question, probably top five
Top
memories,
all
gaming
sausage
memories.
sizzle.
Yeah.
First one that comes to me was a game of Dead of Winter that was playing. It was the first time my wife was playing this game. I want to say it was maybe a 4-player game. And this is not the type of game I would necessarily think my wife would like. Typically, she's more kind of the Euro gamer. But we're playing it, and it is just going so poorly. We are getting wrecked. I mean, this game can do that. We're just getting wrecked. Like, all hope is lost. And we're getting to the end, and we're just like, man, like, we all... Like, that was brutal. We got wrecked. We all lost the game. It's too bad. Okay, game ends. Get ready to clean up. And then she flips that she was the betrayer, and we're just like, what? It was a pretty epic. She loves that game now because of that moment. So,
which is why you got rid of it.
Which is why I got rid of it. But another really funny one was we were playing a game of Power Grid with some friends when I was in graduate school, and actually, you know these people, and we're playing Power Grid, and I'm having a good game. Like, I'm feeling really great. But this is a game. You remember at the end of the game, you got it. It all comes down to how much can you power on the last turn. That's how you win. And so we're building, and then we took a pause. We're grabbing some snacks, and we come back. We sit down, and we go into the last round. And as I'm going into the last round, I'm like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Everything, I can't power. I can't do what I thought I could do. It all fell apart, and I'm just in disbelief. I'm like, I don't know. I must have miscalculated, and so I have this horrible last round. We lose, I lose the game, and so we start cleaning up. We put everything into the box. We close the box, and then we're talking for a while, and then we're about to head out. And I stand up, and stuck to my rear end is probably about half of my money. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And that made a lot more sense about why my final round of Power Grid was so rough. Nice. With the money bamboozled. I blame my wife. I bet she did that. So
yeah,
that was a good memory.
Nice. Next up, we have this is just a factual question. How many games do you have in your collection?
Ooh, who has more?
I don't know the exact here. Well, my kids' games collection blows yours out of the water. So I'm at about 145, I think, base games, not counting kids' games.
Wow.
But probably close to 190 if you count all the kids' games.
Seems excessive.
And I checked for Daniel as well.
120.
I compiled this. You were at 120, roughly. Sometimes it can be a little hard to
prefer a more
tell.
Streamlined collection.
Yeah,
I actually evaluate and cull my games.
Yeah, right? Daniel just culls the games he likes a lot.
Yeah, if you've seen
so that
previous
video,
you know that.
Yeah. This person loved our board game collection videos.
Thank you.
Do you use a one-in, one-out system to manage your collection, given the limited shelf space? Also curious, do you aim for games that cover a wide range of player counts and mechanics, or do you have different selection criteria? I was gonna say I prefer more of the three. I prefer like the 3 or 4 in, 1 out.
Yeah, Ryan. That's a very unhealthy ratio of 7 in, 1 out.
Yeah, over the years we've gotten rid of a lot of games. I think I've gotten rid of more games than I have. Like if we go all the way back.
Wow, that's even more crazy.
But it is slowly growing.
Yeah,
like it's definitely getting bigger over time.
Is it always gonna keep? Like, are you ever gonna cap it?
I think it's asymptotical. You remember math? where it approaches a number but never gets there.
Okay.
So I think the more we have, the slower it'll grow.
Okay.
But it'll probably always have this slight. But a lot of it depends on how much we're able to play. So I think for both of us, kind of the driving factor is are we getting these games played?
Right.
And there could be a game that's not getting played, but if we know it's really good for a specific situation, even if we don't have that situation right now, we know we are going to want it in the future. But we're pretty relentless, I would say, about
I agree.
Because we love replaying our favorite games, if there's a game that we like, but would just be taking away opportunities of playing a similar game we like more, we often will get rid of that game, even if we enjoy it.
Right. No, I think of recently, I played World Wonders. I enjoyed the game, but in kind of that polyomino space, played Planet Unknown, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm always going to choose Planet Unknown. If I'm wanting that kind of polyomino, get different games. But if there's enough of an overlap, I think that's where it's like, and like you said, it's the hitting that specific space. Like when we have four people who are looking for kind of a medium game, like what are kind of the and usually we're okay with having multiple options. But
you want multiple options.
But if one's never getting chosen, then that's That's
the mirror moment of you go, that game hasn't been played in a long time. And sometimes you just feel like I'll be looking at my shelf to pick a game and I'll realize that I'm passing over a game that is really for the situation I'm looking for. And it's like, okay, well, if I have the situation right now and I'm not wanting to, it's probably
the beginning
not.
of the end.
Yeah. Now, as far as the part of it of like, do we try to cover a wide range of things?
Oh,
totally.
That's our
totally our approach to building our collection is we want like our favorite games across every scenario. And so there's games I have that I don't love, but for the specific scenario of maybe a bunch of people and like really, really easy to teach, it's, my favorite one in that niche. So, that's honestly like our biggest selection criteria is just having a collection that can serve up our favorites for any scenario.
Right.
Speaking of that, is there a game that you do not enjoy, but you still keep in your collection for certain people and situations?
Yeah, Tasty Humans.
Just he's afraid I'll revoke his channel privileges
if I get rid of Ryan's
one
published game. Go check it out, folks. Right?
Yeah, when we do our top 50s, I rank every game I have in my collection, like beyond the top 50.
Wow.
And so I can objectively tell you
what the lowest
my two lowest games are that I still have. And so that's Hues and Cues and Concept. They're two party games, and they're party games that I don't enjoy quite as much as other party games. Hues and Cues, my wife likes it. That's why it's still in the collection.
Yeah, she likes I'm not huge on that game.
If it was just up to me, I probably wouldn't see that as one holding on.
Yeah.
Concept has been a weird one where I've had a lot of success with it. Like we've had groups. Don't get Daniel started on Concept.
We'll talk about it later.
We've had groups that have a lot of fun playing this, but I'm kind of just so on it as far as how much fun I have playing it. So it's not one I feel drawn to.
If only there was a house rule that made it better, right?
I also haven't. Well, I mean, even with Daniel's potential house rules, I don't think that's my problem with it. It's just I think the actual just gameplay, I'm kind of just so.
I think that one actually. I was just talking about that one this last week about just with kids, not even.
We have Concept kids actually.
Oh, okay. There's a kids. Yeah. I was just gonna say just for learning to be hey, here's an object, and to start describing something and have them.
Yeah, it's a good kids game. The kids game's all animals.
Oh, okay.
So you definitely are constrained with.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those are the two that I've been sticking around.
Mine is not as objective as Ryan. I didn't look at my list, but I just a few that came to mind. So one, code names. Actually, I am not huge on code names.
Yeah, I definitely like it more than you do.
Which is, and I don't say I actively dislike it, but a little bit lower. I think that one I just don't like the downtime of. I feel like I've just had situations where we're just sitting there and it's kind of and maybe you
gotta learn to make small talk.
I know, I should. Thanks, Ron. Appreciate the advice.
It's a good life skill.
But anyways, I don't know. It's one that's got wide. A lot of people have heard of Codenames, might know it, and I've got Codenames Duet, which my wife and I haven't played a ton, but I've actually enjoyed that one more.
It's a good co-op version.
I still have Say Anything, and it's.
I didn't realize you still had this.
I still have it. It's. I don't know. Sometimes you keep a game because it's what am I going to get if I sell it? Probably nothing. So I guess I'll keep.
Yeah, this might be a thrift store situation.
I know. I don't know. This one has there was a situation where we were with my wife's family on a trip and we wanted just kind of not even wanting to, but just to sit around and kind of laugh type thing. And we played this and I thought it went over pretty well. But not one that I'm actively going to super often. So yeah.
I mean, that's all it takes, though, to keep a game is if you feel there's that one situation that I don't really have a game that would have worked better than it.
I guess the other one that comes to mind is GPS, which is one of the three. Three. You've got Mountain Goats.
That's how they get you. They package it in a trilogy to make it feel
and they
like
look
you
so
should...
nice together. But the Mountain Goats and Sequoia, I actually think Sequoia I think is great. Mountain Goats I think is good. GPS is terrible. I'm sorry. It does not. I'm not a fan of it.
Got to get rid of it.
So sorry for those of you who love GPS.
It's precious shelf
it's not
space.
It's not terrible. I just don't think it's as good.
3-inch by 3-inch box.
They look good together. So.
Yeah. All right, moving from games to game mechanisms. Are there any, or I guess this could be games as well. Are there any games or mechanisms you love, but nobody else you play with can stand? They can't stand. I think for me, the ones that come to mind here are word games, which is just because there's not very many people that like playing word games. It's like me and my mom and our older brother, like the only people in my life that want to play these games. Another one that comes to mind, not so much, not quite as strong as word games, but I think deduction games also have a very specific type of person. You know, I think of a game like A Message from the Stars, which is literally word and deduction.
That's a tough combo. What's funny is I actually like that one.
Yeah.
So
I guess the words there, because you're not a big fan of like building words.
Don't tell me how to spell.
Letters.
Like whatever word Ryan said earlier, don't ask me how to spell that one.
Yes, please spell asymptotical.
I've never heard that in my life, Ryan. I think you just made that up.
Yeah, you slept through math class. So. Yeah, what about you, Dang? Are there anything that you love but other people don't?
One, I think, and I've actually got some people who I think are open to these really long games. You know, it's funny when you talk to a lot of people of what their idea of a long game is, and they're like, man, we're playing a 2-hour game. That's really long. And I'm like, oh, you don't realize there's like TI4.
We'll be done teaching.
Like I am all for like, let's play a game all day. TI4, like it's great. Yeah. So there's that. Also, I think there's people where some of the simple games that are older, like it's like Seven Wonders. I love Seven Wonders.
Yeah. Ticket to Ride's another one like this.
Yeah, I want to sit down and play it. And I think a lot of people, I know maybe it's because they like trying new stuff or whatnot, but they're kind of like, oh, we've moved past that. And I'm like, no. This sounds still great. So I don't know. It makes it hard to get to the table because people don't choose it.
Another game that popped into my mind while you were talking is Trois, because you are not as big on Trois. I fortunately have a few people that like Trois as much as I do in kind of my gaming groups, but a lot of it's been harder to get to the table because some people don't see the beautiful game that is Trois.
It is not beautiful. Don't
Daniel, what is the most expensive board game you own? And is it worth the price?
Oh, well, so I feel like objectively the most expensive is all my HeroScape stuff.
It's gotta be,
There's a lot of money that's gone into that. And it's totally worth it. I've played that a ton. I haven't played it much recently, although, again, this new season of children growing up, like, this is just going to be an incredible game to have. So I've got all the legacy stuff. We'll see about things in the future. But that is definitely the most expensive board game I own.
Yeah, we actually did a video on this. Maybe I'll remember to link it above if you actually want to see like our top.
So then you can see if Ryan failed.
Top 5 most expensive games. Mine, I believe, was Marvel United. And I definitely went knowingly far more all in than I needed to. I have both of all of the first season, all the second
There's plenty
season,
more
you
could get
stuff. Yeah, I did show restraint and not back
so
past that. If you can call it restraint at that point. What do you call restraint when it's already so far beyond where restraint should have happened?
I don't know.
But that said, I think I'm up like 70 plus plays of this in just the last 4 years or so.
Wow.
And the great thing about board games is like, it's just as playable as it was when I first got it. Like you can just keep, if you're still enjoying it, you can keep playing it and keep having payoff. So I feel that it's worth it. I mean, I could have probably had an equal amount of enjoyment from just one of the seasons, but I do, looking forward, it is fun to be able to be like, we'll still be able to down the road play with some of the X-Men stuff I haven't played. And so, stay subscribed to the channel and see if I regret it in the future. But so far, I would say most of the games and here's the thing, there's a bias in the question because it's expensive ones you own. The fact that we still have it implies that we still like it and it felt that it's worth it. Because a lot of times the more expensive game you could sell and actually, get a decent amount for. That'd actually be a good question. It's like, what's the most expensive game we've gotten rid of? I'd have to think about that. But Let's move on because we are not even halfway, I don't think.
No, you know what? People are here for the long haul, so yeah, we're having a
we
great
may have to
time.
rapid fire a little here. Let's talk about our kids a little bit. What game or games are you looking forward to playing with your children when they are old enough? We actually had a comment that mentioned maybe doing this as a full
maybe
video.
this was their question.
Maybe this is their question.
Yeah, I don't know. Where my mind goes first is campaign games. Like it's just the dream setup. You know, you have the group; they're right there, and you can just make it part of the daily chores, right? Got to play our game.
If they want it, want their dinner.
If you want dinner, got to play our game of Gloomhaven. So, no, that's definitely. I mean, all game right. I mean, we're gonna try them all with them, but that's one that.
Yeah, I think that's for me. It's just like the opportunity to play games, some of my bigger games more and stuff as they get older is exciting. I do specifically think of some of the like bigger 2-player games that I've not been able to play as much. The Twilight Struggles, the War of the Rings. Now maybe this is aspirational that my kids are going to want to play.
I think Toby
those
will get it by next year.
Yeah, Toby, give me a couple years, but I think we'll be there. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It's just fun to play games with kids. I mean, I'm having a blast playing when most of them are just kids games and stuff. And it's fun now with Toby, you know, being the world's most seasoned 5-year-old board gamer. We're getting a lot more into some of these family games and games that aren't necessarily kids games. It's just a lot of fun. So it'll be interesting to see. If you're interested, you know, we did Toby's top 20 games this last year on the channel. We'll likely do his top games again. So if you want to see how a young child's gaming preferences evolve over time, boy, do we have the content for you. I like this one. How would you feel if your child got sick of playing board games and instead wanted to, I don't know, play sports or something?
Oh no. Well,
I don't know if we're giving the impression that we're just like, you know, forcing our kids to play games, which we are. But
yeah. I mean, they have to, you know, they're probably going to be doing both of these things, you know. I mean, both of us. I mean, this sports and games. I mean, that's kind of a lot of our childhood, you know.
Yeah, so we're big into sports.
We are.
If that wasn't evident from certain things on the channel, we both were like 3-sport athletes all the way through growing up. Love sports. So the idea of our kids playing sports,
and I think
is
there's a lot of overlap
between
like even what we love about each of the things. You know,
the sport is literally
a game. Just you know,
so it's really just games all over. But yeah, I mean, we're trying to raise well-rounded children, and it's very rewarding to see your kids like be interested in anything. Really, like it's fun seeing that. My wife is an artist, and she does a lot of art stuff with them, and it's very fun to see them get excited about that.
It's really exciting to see them get interested in video editing and take that over for the channel.
We're still waiting on that. Now, I think the more interesting question is maybe like, how would you feel if they got tired of board games? It would definitely like if I picture the scenario where like Toby just like wasn't that interested in playing as much anymore. It would definitely be like a sad thing because it's been such a fun shared thing together.
We'd have to change our name, roles in part of the family.
Roles in part of the family, some of the family. But yeah, I would say overall, you know, I think most people that have kids will relate to that of just like, I don't know. It's fun to see your kids excited about just about anything. Yeah. But it is very fun to play board games with them. Do you guys have other hobbies? Do you what? Do you have any hobbies you enjoy more than board games? We do have other hobbies. I would say both of us would say board games is our favorite hobby.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's
the fact that we're sitting here right now,
I suppose that's accurate.
Doing this, is maybe a sign. I have a lot of other interests. Music is a big one for me, both playing. I play bass in a band, grew up taking piano lessons and stuff, also listening to a lot of music, like watching movies. This is my obligatory moment to plug my other YouTube channel.
Gosh. Get your other channel out of here, Ryan.
I'll link it below.
No, I'm going to delete it.
I'll hide it in the description.
He knows I won't look there.
So I have a YouTube channel called Ryan Recommends where I actually recommend music I've been listening to, movies. I plan to do stuff about like books. Books is another big one for me. I read a lot. I think for both of us, sports generally. I mean,
We
we're
are
big Denver sports fans.
Denver sports fans. It's
what
a
a time to be
talk
a
about the glory
Denver
days, Ryan. I mean,
sports
shoot, we're
fan.
riding Broncos, Nuggets, Avalanche. We're riding the high
they are
right now.
killing it right now. So big sports fans. Another huge one for me. I'll let Daniel speak for himself in a moment. But game design is a big one. That's how I got into my career path of software engineering. Was making computer games with mostly our older brother when we were younger, but have done some board game design. I would love to do more board game design. So I definitely love that whole side of kind of the gaming hobby as well, kind of the design side of it.
Yeah.
What are your hobbies, Dave? What do you do?
I feel like this takes up
You
a lot
started
of...
running. I don't know if you'd call that a hobby.
Yeah, I don't know. So I work out quite a bit. Obviously do the I even before the channel loved like editing and that kind of creative side of things, so this is why this worked out pretty well with that. Just like being outdoors, doing athletic things is fun. Started reading more recently. Ryan's inspired me, but
it was a low bar.
It was a low bar. Start from zero, and it's only uphill from there. And I don't know. I'm trying to think of I feel like it's not this like crazy widespread thing. Love listening to music.
I think since having kids, a big hobby is just like family time now.
That
can look like a lot of
external
different things.
I mean, most of our life obviously is our, work, and then family time, and then the channel, and then there's, little pockets of, things around that. But those are kind of the main things.
Yeah. This person can't recall if we've mentioned it before, but is interested in what we both do for a living career-wise. I actually just mentioned this for me. I'm a software engineer, so I got my degree in computer science and now work as a software engineer for the last 10 years or whatever. So programmer, really exciting.
Really exciting.
Yeah.
I am a pastor at our church here in Minnesota, and so been doing that for 2.5 years or so. Pastor and board game. It's funny when people
who knew
that I had someone come to church, and they were like, they saw me and they're like, oh my gosh, you're from Rolls in the Family. I've had that happen once.
Wow.
A big board game guy, and recognize. And
I've had it selling a game on Facebook Marketplace, but that's way more likely.
That's
someone
like the target
game,
demographic. Yeah. So
is gonna know. But wow,
yeah,
we've made it.
That's
Mom.
how I
Look
know
at
we've
us.
made it, Mama. Come on.
Yeah, we've done it.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk a little bit about our current gaming preferences and habits. This question is, what or who do your game groups consist of? Church, family, people you find on the internet, board game arena, local cons, local meetups? Do these groups tend toward certain types of gamers, or are they omni-gamers?
I like that term.
Yes. I think for us, or I'll speak for me, that there's kind of been these two categories. It's gaming with family. So when we go over to family things or whatever within our family, and then there's whoever my current circle of local gaming friends are. And some of those are friends from college that have stuck around. Some of those are other friends that I've got connected in other ways that I know are into board games.
Right.
And so usually I'm the one organizing and hosting game nights and pulling in a few from that local group. So it ends up being a pretty, a lot of gaming with a lot of the same people. I try to use, board gaming is a great opportunity to bring people you haven't played with in and enjoy those things together. But I definitely have some core people I go to. Not a lot on the front of meetups, conventions.
Yeah, we haven't done much of that.
It's hard right now with where we're at with young kids and family to justify going to a convention or any kind of regular meetup.
And
with it. Maybe if we didn't have this channel, eating up all our time,
it's your guys' fault.
Yeah.
I think part of it also is we love gaming. Gaming is an avenue for the relationships that we have, and so we aren't as much just desiring to just game with total complete strangers, although not that we wouldn't be open to that, but most of the time where it's gaming with like the people that
like a lot of times if I'm scheduling a game night, one of my main things I'm going is,
do I like
who haven't I looped in a while? Do I like this one? So Daniel's not coming this time.
Why haven't I got an invite?
But, it'll be like, oh, I haven't looped this person in for a while. It'd be good to connect with them.
Yeah,
and so then it's like, okay, I know they like these games or are interested in trying, and then you kind of build it out from there.
Yeah. I think for me, so family, there's been a lot less gaming just with having 2 kids recently. I think we're starting to, like, we played Splendor the other night. It was great. So we're starting to kind of go back. A lot of it.
You've been playing with Naomi, right?
Well, I will say that, yeah. We've been working. I've been following the channel on your recommendations, and it's been great. So yeah, obviously there's that area is growing. But I've also got kind of this group of people at our church that love games as well. I actually started our own kind of Discord group, and where we're scheduling periodically nights for people. Kind of wanted a thing where you could have this large group of people, because scheduling is the hardest thing in the world, and so you could have a large group of people. I could just post a night that I'm available. Anyone who's available, sign up to come, and then we can communicate from there. And that's works really well. So that's the main where gaming happens right now for me.
Nice. Here's a quick hitter. What is a game that makes you internally groan when someone suggests you play it at game night? I had a hard time thinking of like one that I actually regularly play.
Yeah.
But I will say, if I'm at like any kind of social gathering and somebody suggests playing Cards Against Humanity, it's maybe like the only game I would like opt out.
Whoa.
Like I don't know another game. It just is like,
Twister?
I just really...
Twister?
Oh, to count me in. Remember, we're making Twister Legacy. It's still in the plans. But yeah, it's just not. It's not a game I enjoy. There's so many party games that I feel like are so much better at allowing player creativity. I don't love the dynamic I see it creating with people, where I like can tell that someone is uncomfortable with the game and is also trying to like act like they're not uncomfortable because they feel like the social setting is it's the cool thing to act like you're okay with it being edgier, and I just it's just not one that I enjoy.
It was kind of hard to think of this one. I don't want to speak too strongly against this one because I can play it and I can have a fine time, but one that I am definitely not a huge fan of, kind of interesting, is Mysterium.
Yeah, that our family will play sometimes.
And I'm trying to think why. I just, for some reason, and maybe I'm just bad at it, I don't know. Whenever I'm playing it and I'm the, person getting clues, I just feel like I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like, okay, maybe it's that, maybe it's that. I don't really know. I'll just guess, and okay, I was right. Yeah, I was wrong. I don't know. I don't know why.
I think this is an example of like, because the internally grown, some of it is like the opportunity cost of like, well, but if we play that, we're not playing, these other games we could be playing.
Right.
And there's definitely some times where like, I'll bring a bag of games to play, and like, the group will be like wanting to play the one that I'm like, okay, I brought it because I should have not brought it as an option. But if I'm at home, and everything's an option. Sometimes it gets picked that it's like, okay, it's not really like my top pick, but we always are about the group,
Right. Well, I tell you what, like part of our, it's the challenge of trying to listen to what the group wants to play, while also as kind of the board game guru, like guiding the group to what you think is the best option.
And there's sometimes you got to go, giving options is not helpful.
I know.
Like
I
need to just say this is a good game for this situation.
I've learned that. Like,
are you all okay?
Because you waste time too. Like you're the one who knows the group best, so just pick a game and let them trust you.
Yep, you heard it here first.
Yep.
Just listen to what we tell you. Okay, 2 options here. Ooh. Either 1 3-hour game or 2 to 3 1-hour games. Which are you picking to play, Daniel?
Yeah, no, it's easy. 1 3-hour game. I always lean towards more epic, bigger, longer, whatever.
Yeah. I think I have the same answer, but I think the main reason is just I have fewer opportunities to get those games to the table.
Right.
Is like more the driving factor, because I also would love play. There's a lot of games that I would love playing, like 3, but whenever I have a window like that, it's like this is one of
I know they're way more
the
rare.
opportunities.
It's way more rare
it's-
to get that opportunity. Totally.
So at least in this season right now, got to take advantage when you can. We're not going to fully answer this question, but what are each of your top 3 to 5 favorite game genres, and maybe include an example game from each genre? I think genres are hard because it's like, well, what are the genres? Are we talking board game mechanisms or whatever?
Like, first one that came to my mind is like dexterity games.
That's true. That is a big one.
We enjoy a lot of different dexterity games. And I know like Dungeon Fighter, Crokinole, Ice Cool. There's quite a few that are kind of in that space that we enjoy.
Yeah. We've actually thought about doing a video series where we like pick a genre or a mechanism or something and recommend basically across complexity. So like, here's a kid's game that we recommend with this, and here's like
that's great.
Intro. Isn't that a great idea? So maybe in the next year we'll do some of those. It's hard to start to categorize the genres of some of like our top games where it's like they're like resource management strategy games, but like where's the line between different ones, or is it just one big bucket of Euro games? I think there's actually a question here where we're maybe going to talk about, do we have one about like mechanisms? Maybe not. I mean, I definitely would say that like the kind of resource management, engine building, variable powers or abilities are all things that like feed towards some of our favorite games. We do love cooperative.
I was gonna say
games,
cooperative. We are a big fan of cooperative games. And party games. Like great.
It turns out we just like games.
In fact, we just like every board game.
Yeah. So maybe we'll do some content this next year.
Don't constrain us to 3 to 5.
Yeah, come on. Here's my top 30. Okay, Daniel, we're now stuck on an island.
Wow.
With each other.
Okay.
And we could only bring 3 games to play.
Okay, gotcha.
Presumably.
So this is a really good question. You and me on an island.
It's basically you have unlimited gaming time. You know, let's not pick the.
But what are we doing here,
We're
Ryan?
not picking the games that have the most supplies that could be used for survival by burning. And like, it's just we get to play games.
That's a good question. I mean, it feels like, Race for the Galaxy has to be in that, right? Don't you think?
It feels like a strong contender. I think Agricola has to be a strong option. You would want something cooperative. Honestly, Slay the Spire. It's so replayable.
That is
it's
good
so good
one.
2-player cooperative.
Slay the Spire. I was trying to think of the cooperative one, because you could there's Mage Knight, but I think
or Too Many Bones or something like that.
I think Slay the Spire is the So we're going Agricola, Slay the Spire, and then for a shorter one, Race for the Galaxy.
Race for the Galaxy. We're definitely staying kind of in a similar lane with there's nothing like completely.
Who cares?
But who cares?
Yeah, we don't have to. We don't have like this goes back to us growing up. We don't have to adjust we're just gonna play whatever we want.
Twilight Struggle, but we'd end up on different camps on opposite sides of the island.
There might be only one person on the island after that.
Bloodshed. We only needed one game.
I did consider that one. That one is also great. Yeah.
Okay, you're still on an island.
Actually, Twilight Struggle might help us find our way home. We could see where our island is.
It doubles as a map. This is amazing. Perfect. Daniel, you're still on an island now, but this time you are with your significant other.
Oh, okay.
And can bring 3 board games. Yep. Which 3 would you bring?
Yeah, so we're keeping Agricola. I mean, it's just that
just leave it on the island.
Just leave it, Ryan.
Come back.
Nothing. Again, I was like thinking shorter, and maybe it's just because I'm coming off a good play. Splendor. That one's proven the longevity. The pieces could handle some water damage. Okay, I think. So we're okay there. And then I didn't feel super confident about this last one. Just trying to think of another one my wife really likes is Underwater Cities. I
like this one. It's like aspirational that you're going to be able to like do something about your situation.
It gives us some vision of like, hey, maybe we can build some tunnels.
Yeah. My wife is much less into the heavier strategy games. So my top one I had here was Dixit, mainly because if you have a bunch of Dixit cards, there's actually like several games that and normally you wouldn't think that with 2 players, but like we have like some cooperative variants and stuff, and it would, we could be creative and maybe even come up with some new ways to using them. I put Cartographers is a kind of spatial roll and write that we both enjoy and is very replayable with just the variability of it. And then my wife really likes That's Pretty Clever. Another kind of roll and write one. I guess another one I could consider is Obsession, which is a little bit of a heavier game that's kind of more of a Pride and Prejudice theme that my wife likes, but we would obviously have the time,
got plenty of time.
That it wouldn't be the time constraint that it kind of is right now. Right. But I don't know. Maybe we should actually try to survive instead of just playing board games. I don't know. What are your top game day snacks, or are you break for a meal people? I like to think they said that kind of snooty, like, are you one of those break for a meal people?
We're kind of
I'm
both,
afraid
maybe?
we might be.
Well,
I think we lean
towards break for a meal, yeah. But game day snack, I mean, Ryan, there's only one choice here.
If it's what you're going to say, I haven't had it around for a long time.
It's animal crackers.
Yeah, I haven't had animal crackers in the house since my
are
old
objectively the best board game
Animal
snack.
Crackers are a good one because you want like nothing that sticks to your fingers.
Sticking to your fingers.
I like pretzels, peanut butter pretzels.
Oh yeah, those peanut butter pretzels are good.
Game day snacks. But I mean, in most of my game days, we aren't eating much when we're actually playing.
Yeah,
and then we usually break for what 90% of the time is a Del Taco delivery.
That is Ryan's go-to. Oh, it's a delivery now. You don't drive out.
Well, I tell you, when we have now that time is so much more of a constraint for games, you start to value it. We have everybody here. We could play another filler or something while we're waiting for it to get here.
Yeah.
Now we're still looking for a Del Taco sponsorship on the channel here. All the Del Taco locations in Colorado closed. Like,
that was tragic.
Was that a year ago? Or something? I grieved for
a year.
And then months later, they announced that it was a reopening. It was like it taken away and given back. I was given new life, a new appreciation for the things I took for granted.
It's like all these board games that we sell and then we end up coming back around and buying them again.
Exactly.
It's just like that.
It's kind of like that, except what alternative was there to Del Taco?
That's very true. Well, yeah.
Taco Bell.
I feel like for meals, I more so pick up a pizza. Like that's been my go-to. Just pick up a pizza to have and bake, and so that's kind of been my go-to recently. So.
Oh, like a Papa Murphy's take and bake?
Yeah, I'll do Papa Murphy's, or just like at Aldi, I'll just pick up one of their fresh pizzas. And
you and your Aldis out there.
Oh, it's amazing.
We don't have them. Amazing. All right. How do you, I'm curious, go about determining a budget for what you spend on games or other hobbies?
I don't.
Yeah.
No. So, yeah, no, this will be interesting. So I mean, I don't know. I run the budget in the house, so I just do what I want. Just kidding. No, typically, so we've, my wife and I we each, amidst, we run a tight ship around here. We got and within the budget line, we've got a, Daniel spending and a, Kaylee spending. And so buying board games falls within that, regular. Is
that like the large percentage? Like, is that of your?
It's most of
your personal spending.
Comes out
I'm saying, does most of your personal spending go towards board games, or are there other things that?
No. It goes towards other things too. Okay. Here's the hard thing: like a lot of the games I get are birthdays, Christmas. Like I'll get a few throughout the year, but
Daniel's the opportunistic Facebook Marketplace sniper. He looks for.
Yeah,
because you see something that's a good deal.
Yeah, no, Ryan and I are very different. Ryan is like, here are the games I want to buy, and I'm going to get these, whether it's birthday, Christmas, or on my own spending.
I'll keep a look, look out secondhand. But
I like board games, and there's lots of great board games out there, and who knows which ones are going to be my favorite. So I'm just going to have a wider range, and when deals pop up on any one of those, I'll jump on it. So
it's worked out pretty well for you, I'd say.
I mean, I still like board games. So
yeah, so I have very similar, in our family budget, have a personal spending that I use pretty much entirely for either games or books. It's like all and that's all I get for gifts.
Right.
Like it's just, I'm a simple man, dang. Right. I'm a simple man.
That's fair.
I did have a change, this is where I start to get nerdy, that I have all these like life systems and tracking and things, and setting goals and whatever. A recent change in it was probably like 2 years ago, that I started tying my monthly spending budget to my prior month's habit performance.
Oh, I've thought about that.
So if I do a worse job of keeping on top of things exercise and all these other things, I'll actually have less spending money than I would have had. But I do actually have the opportunity now that I could have a little bit more than I would have had. Because I basically realized would I pay $15 to guarantee I'd be better on all these habits, and be that would be a pretty good outcome.
Do you find that external motivation is strong
enough?
It
actually works pretty well, which maybe that just speaks to how much I like books and board games. The other thing though is with habits is once you get the ball rolling and you get some good inertia going. But yeah, so there you go. Consider. But I will say I think both of us would say that time has been the bigger constraint on our hobby than money. There's a lot of times now where I'm just I don't need a new big game. I need to go get all these games.
I already have several games on the shelf I got to get played before getting more. And it's going to be great, Ryan, once we can start writing off all our board game acquisitions as business expenses.
Yeah. Still waiting for that. Yeah, we'll see once our kids get older and suddenly maybe we have a lot more opportunities to play games. Maybe it'll start hurting the budget again, but we'll see. You don't need to put that much money into the board game hobby.
You don't.
You can, with a small collection, enjoy a lifetime.
That's true. We could have just stuck with Dominion. There's plenty of replayability in that.
I think we need to more normalize that collections don't need to be massive. And ours are much bigger than most people, would need to have fun in the hobby. Let's see. We're taking a little bit of a turn here to the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Why did we decide to do this, Dave?
Was this out of a I hate the channel type thing?
So we'll try not to make this too lengthy, seeing as we're coming up on an hour here.
It's been great.
Daniel and I actually both had YouTube channels prior to this.
I think mine's still live, technically.
Separately, I can go check out. And I think actually a big driver was my wife with her art business. We were getting into some YouTube stuff to do some stuff for her online business. So I was doing stuff with that and we were kind of learning. It made me all the learning about it made me want to kind of do something. And so I actually started a channel called Ludo Lodge. You can still find it. If you've seen it before and didn't know it was me. Where I basically was resources for game designers. So I was doing a lot of here's how in Tabletop Simulator you can prototype your games and whatever. And I actually got some really good traction on that channel. I mean, it's got twice as many subscribers as this channel does.
Are you serious?
It's basically on hold until I could see rebooting it up a little bit if I was doing more game design stuff myself. But a little bit on hold there. So I was kind of doing that stuff. And then you were doing your... What was it? Dang-a-Wang. It was just your personal
just my name, yeah.
Dang-a-Wanglish. And you were doing kind of lifestyle tech reviews and some stuff. And you loved the idea of a YouTube channel and the editing and everything. But even before we talked about this, you were kind of I don't know that this is what I want to be doing. And so something, we ended up having a conversation at one point that... And I had thoughts of maybe someday doing something like this. I don't know if we had really thought about doing it necessarily together. But once we got talking about it and with both of our experience with YouTube and realizing that you kind of like doing the editing side of things and I kind of like doing more of the strategy and direction side of things, it was okay, this could work. And so we went into it very intentionally and with some... prior experience to draw on kind of how to do YouTube. Maybe that came across or not in the videos. Although I tell you, I go back and look at some of our early videos and I was we've come a long way with how look and sound quality and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, and we haven't looked back. We committed from the beginning we thought we could do a video a week, right? That was from the very start.
Yeah.
And for the most part, 3 years later here, we
As
have
this
posted,
morning we didn't post a video.
yeah, as literally as we're recording this.
Yeah,
we
there's
didn't.
we
exceptions.
both work full-time jobs, so sometimes and being a pastor, there's seasons, especially around Christmas, Easter, where things get
busier.
a little crazy. So
yeah. And so kind of related to that, this person's asking, with the channel, how do we split production roles from deciding which games to feature, scripting, filming, editing? How has the brotherly dynamic helped or hindered the channel's creative direction? And what does the other brother bring to the table that you on your own could never replicate? So right now, the division of responsibilities, Daniel does pretty much all the editing and thumbnails. I have taken, as we've added in shorts, you may have noticed that we've started posting shorts. I've been clipping and editing all the shorts. I'm using a tool that makes that a little bit easier on me. But then I do most of the creative direction for the channel. It's not uncommon for Daniel to show up to the video not knowing what video we're filming
but
that
I think that's
morning.
part of the channel, right? People
yeah,
like
it's
that.
part of the vibe. And so I'll do scripting when we do reviews. I'll do most of the scripting or review. We'll do some like collaboration, but then I'll do most of the scripting on the reviews. So I as far as like kind of what we each bring to the table, I think that's been one of the biggest advantages on the channel is the way we kind of complement each other's strengths.
Yeah.
It obviously helps that we have so much history playing board games together and just love board games, love talking about games. So that so a lot of what the channel demands of us comes very naturally.
There is this whole side thing to the channel of, we don't live in the same state, so we don't see each other super often. So it's an outlet for me to talk to you about
We do talk to each other a lot more than we would have.
So it's even that side of it, just for our relationship, has been fun.
Yeah. So it's been good. Be interesting to see where it goes in the coming years.
Yeah, and in terms of what you bring to the table, like, and this is me coming from my previous channel, just the strategic, giving a direction. Like I loved the editing, I loved all of that, but I did not like thinking of like what video should I was just coming up with random stuff, and there was no, so bringing that
and editing for me was always like, what's the bare minimum I can do here to like push out something usable? So there you go. Okay, some of these should be a little quicker, heavy hitters.
Right.
This person just brought Dwellings of Eldervale, but has heard that Andromeda's Edge is better, hasn't opened it yet. Should you trade it in for Andromeda's Edge?
Oh, that's a hard question. Like, they're 90% similar.
And some people might prefer Dwellings.
And some people might prefer Dwellings. I do personally think they cleaned up some stuff in Andromeda's Edge. I feel like first, started with just like the theme of like which, is there one that like you strongly gravitate towards?
My recommendation would be you have Dwellings of Eldervale.
So try it.
I would try it.
Yeah.
Because there's a third possibility here, which is that you don't really like it.
Yeah.
In which case, you're probably not going to like Andromeda's Edge.
Yeah, that's
either.
true. If you absolutely do not like it, yeah, you won't like it. Although, Ryan, the box size of Andromeda's Edge is, depending on which one they get, I guess. If you get the deluxe, it's huge. But I love that streamline.
So my recommendation would be play Dwellings of Eldervale. Then I would go look at some reviews of the differences and see if they
fix
make
things.
you go. Because for us, that's
what it did for me.
Oh, that
I played Dwellings. It was
change.
fun, and then I watched a review, and I was like, oh, okay, that was actually something I didn't enjoy that they made that I liked more, but that might not be the case.
Thematic draw might be in play there.
Right.
Are there any Agricola expansion decks you recommend? Well, we take the purist approach of shuffle all the cards together, but we don't get any of the exotic decks. But with the revised edition, we have the A, B, C, D, and I actually picked up the E deck. Daniel doesn't have the E deck.
It's been ruined by Agricola games,
especially in the revised edition. All fantastic. Can't go wrong with any of those decks. Phenomenal.
Okay.
When can we hang out so I can get a play of Arcs of the Blighted Reach? It has been taunting on my shelf all year.
You played this.
I did.
Yeah.
And our sister loved it. And won. I feel you on this one because it's not an easy game to get to the table. You need the right couple of people. Honestly, it probably takes some proactive initiative from the person that has the game to try to curate that group, right? You have to find who do I know that would like this and would be able to commit to it. And for some people, the answer might be I don't have the group,
Yeah.
which is sometimes the sad reality with certain
is
games
hard.
that it's like, okay, I just like can't get this to the table. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to fulfill that need for you. I'm honestly wondering when I'm going to get to play it again. I know our sister and now fiance are interested in playing it again. So
That's why we welcomed him into the family.
Yes, he proposed in arcs as he got. No, just kidding. This person likes roguelike video games. You and me both. Outside of the Slay the Spire board game, do you have any other suggestions for board games that could help satisfy this interest? I actually am interested in this question as well. If people want to drop in the comments games that give that roguelike feel. The most obvious one that comes to mind to me is Paperback Adventures, because it's literally like the Slay the Spire formula, but it's building words. It's a word game. So that's going to... Either it's going to be the perfect recommendation or it's going to be a terrible recommendation, depending on whether you like that. The other two, I'm curious, Dingo, if you have any thoughts here. Mage Knight and Too Many Bones came to mind as bigger games that kind of are one-off.
Well, I was gonna go off the Too Many Bones route of Elder Scrolls, the Betrayal of the Second Era.
True.
Like I've only played the first part of it, but that one definitely gave the you're exploring around and go that kind of experience. So that would be it's a very large game, but.
Yeah, and a lot of these recommendations, I guess, are skewing a little bit more. Those games can be played multiplayer, but solo as well.
Right.
I know 2 games that I haven't played that are solo only, but I know are in this lane are Unstoppable is a newer one from John D. Clare, and Warp's Edge is another one I've heard good things about. So you might check those out.
Cool.
This person would love to know our favorite 2-player campaign games, specifically looking to play with my wife. She generally enjoys lighter games in the collection, and My City went down so well, we'd love to get another legacy or campaign game played with her. I feel like the what are our favorites and what do we recommend for the situation are probably different answers.
They are different. Yeah. I mean, my favorite 2-player campaign game is Agricola, the card game, which is not what I would recommend in this situation per se.
Yeah.
Although, who knows?
You never know.
Maybe your wife would be interested in something like that.
Her liking My City doesn't mean she wouldn't.
There's no overlap, but it doesn't mean she won't. So
yeah, this was tricky. I didn't think about it a lot, but the one that came to mind that has kind of a light campaign element and is a little bit more work on your own think puzzly is Welcome to the Moon. Welcome to is a really good kind of flip and right game, and I really like the Welcome to the Moon and what it brings with different scenarios. I could see somebody who liked My City liking Welcome to the Moon.
Would you call Codenames Duet a campaign? Doesn't that have a very light...
It's the lightest campaign. It's slightly change. Now there's one fewer clue. You're now in Bombay.
It's a campaign. I like it.
Mark on the, cross off
Pandemic
the city on the
Legacy?
map. I mean, again, the My City to me is puzzly working on my own thing, so it's hard to know how much more she might do. Right. But I would highly recommend Welcome to the Moon based on that. I think that's a great suggestion.
Cool.
Are there any board game designers that you follow and anticipate their next games more than others? And I guess I'll put the follow-up. Any interest in the upcoming Agricola spin-off by Awakened Realms Dead Harvest? I don't know that we specifically follow designers as much as we recognize there's name recognition.
The only one that maybe peaks is just an Uwe Rosenberg game.
I would
gets
say
us
that, except that there's also so many that it's gotten to the point where it kind of doesn't. It's I need to give it time. I don't get hyped about the new Uwe Rosenberg releases. I get hyped 8 years later when there's one of those releases that is
still popular.
Yeah, has kind of risen to the top.
Fair.
I mean, that's kind of what happened with Hallertau. Is it was quite a bit later that I kind of was still seeing some stuff about it and ended up really liking that one.
Yeah.
Speaking of Uwe, Agricola, yes, Awakened Realms is making this Dead Harvest, which is a very funny twist, a zombie-themed Agricola. Honestly, I don't know that we really have any interest in it. Do you have any interest in it?
No, I remember seeing it. I thought it was a joke at first. And
it might be good. We didn't back the normal Agricola campaign either. We're kind of content with our revised editions. I'm curious to see what it does. Right. I don't know that I feel a strong pull to need to try it.
I hope it just blows Agricola away. It's just
they're just this
edition.
is the definitive version of Agricola now. Yeah, that'd be great. Okay, dang it. We got to wrap this thing up with some miscellaneous questions. If you're still watching this, thanks for sticking around.
Love you guys.
This is very related. as far as game designers. Which game creators are your favorite and why? Are there any new game creators in the past 12 to 18 months that you've learned about that you would recommend checking out? This is a hard question.
I'll just preface it all with, I don't pay attention to like game designers. I really don't. Like, this is a Ryan question. I just play fun games. I don't care who made it.
So there's a lot of designers that I know pop up like multiple times in our, top 50. So Uwe Rosenberg is a really obvious one. I have Agricola, Feast for Odin, Howler Tower, all staples in my collection. Vlada Chvátil is a classic that he did. Very versatile. Mage Knight, Through the Ages, but he also did Code Names. He also did Galaxy Trucker. I feel like there's other ones I'm forgetting that we've played from him. Yeah. Paul Denon from Direwolf has done Clank and Dune Imperium, which those are two, Clank Catacombs specifically, games I enjoy a lot. Got to give a shout out to Tom Lehman with our Race for the Galaxy play, and then I really like Res Arcana, which is a newer game from him. We've given Quacks a lot of love, which is Wolfgang Warsch. He also did That's Pretty Clever and Wavelength, which are some other games I have. And then the last one here I had that had multiples in our top 50 is Simone Luciana. Might not be pronouncing that right. But did Lorenzo Il Magnifico and Grand Austria Hotel.
Both
and I know there's other games that I'm intrigued to try. I think Voyages of Marco Polo is also by him. The second question, as far as like new creators, that's really hard to like think off of. Like, I forget like if I've played a game that was actually from like a newer designer or one I didn't know. The only one I could really think of right away was Matthias Wiggy, who did Arc Nova. Only because it's amazing that that's his first published design, and it's an absolute home run. So that's definitely one that it's like, well, I think we should be pretty interested in kind of what he's working on next. I know Sanctuary came out, which is like the newer spin-off of Arc Nova.
Right.
But yeah, lots of good game designers. What's a board game that you would love to redesign or be on a team to create a sequel board game for? How about you take it, Daniel?
Yeah, well, getting back to our discussion earlier, I want to be on the redesign team.
Yeah, let's make this brief.
It just a simple redesign. This game needs to not be a competitive game. It needs to be a cooperative game. There's my redesign. Okay.
As in concept.
Did I not say concept?
I don't think so.
Okay, sorry, concept. If it was
any game,
if it was I think it was meant to be a cooperative game. The only other thing is, and I know they're redesigning it right now, is Heroescape. I would love to just be a part of the vision because I think there's so much potential. Like if they just keep leaning into this and create different, like game, like we talked a little bit about like game modes and stuff. Like I think there's a lot of potential.
They're doing it.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
It's funny. If you'd asked me this like 6 months ago, I actually would have said there's this little known game that like almost nobody knows from way back called Magical Athlete that we played I actually don't know if you played it, but I played
don't know.
way
I think
back.
I might have. Yeah.
And I always was like, it looked horrible. Like the first version, just like the board is probably Hall of Fame, like worst board game boards. But it was such a quirky, fun little game of this like roll and move with crazy powers. I was like, man, I feel like the right team could do a really good job with this. Well, lo and behold, this year, CMYK reprints Magical Athlete with none other than Richard Garfield at the helm of leading development. So I was like, well, that was left in good hands, and I now have that version, and they did a great job with it. So yeah, I don't know if there's other ones that come to mind as far as redesigns or sequels. Are there any favorite board game podcasts you all enjoy?
I don't really listen to board game podcasts at all.
I don't really listen to podcasts.
I do listen to podcasts, mostly sports podcasts, some others, but
miscellaneous ones.
Yeah.
I consume most of my like board game content through YouTube channels. I mean, I like reference Board Game Geek, but it's as far as like subscribing to content creators, it's mostly YouTube stuff. I know there's a friend of mine, Tyson, who's one of the hosts on the Longest Turn podcast. I've listened to it a little bit, but I don't really listen to podcasts. But I'll give him a shout out.
There you go.
You can go check out the Longest Turn.
Cool.
Speaking of turns, do you ever use a turn timer? No. There's only one time I've used a turn timer, and that's when my son and I were getting into chess this year.
Oh, nice.
We did get a little
Wow,
chess
a little
timer.
ruthless there on your son.
Well,
Jeez.
it's so I can have less time.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
right?
yeah,
Like,
Toby,
you can
you're
even
on
it out a
timer
little
too.
bit.
Well, no, Ryan. I
have you?
did within the last year when in our Star Wars Imperial Assault campaign, we did bring in a turn timer because things were just the rebel turns were just taking a little too long, and we're like, hey, we're in the heat of battle. Like you don't get all day to make a decision here. Like let's go.
Yeah.
So we did use a turn timer.
Wow. And did it turn out to be
I think it was
good
helpful.
decision?
Yeah, not everyone loved it, but I think it was helpful.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. And the question everybody has been waiting for: what is your favorite Pokemon?
Mm-hmm. And make the noise of that Pokemon.
Yes. Dan, what do you like?
I will start off with the best Pokemon, Snorlax.
Snorlax. Classic. It's
Snorlax
a classic.
is great. I always wanted Snorlax whenever I was playing Pokemon.
I don't know that I ever had like a favorite Pokemon, but I did have a season where I really liked Togepi, the little like star Pokemon in a diaper, mainly because
what move did Togepi have?
Because it learns metronome. And
that's
metronome
right.
is the one where it picks a random move. And I just thought it was so fun to just buff Togepi like crazy and just random move everybody to oblivion. It just made that game a lot more fun.
Pokemon Crystal, that was a key part of our childhood.
Yeah. Pokemon Crystal was the one way back. You could leave below. What was your most iconic Pokemon game that
Then we'll know you
drew
listened this
in?
long.
Yeah, and then we'll know the few people that actually listen to the very end of this thing.
Thanks for watching. We do this topic every single year, so wait for next year where we will be answering more of your fine questions. And we've got some videos here that you can check out. Lots of videos just for you. We'll see you in the next one.